the situation. We're not having fun anymore.
I'm feeling your pain.
I don't know what to do.
Hey, look at me. We all make mistakes.
Told you about the tires, huh?
Yeah. Should have gotten Cooper.
Buying tires is a big decision. Next time, get everything you want. Cooper Tires. Don't give up a thing.
My daddy.
We're back in Mobile. Let's head down to the field. Here's Rob Stone.
Well, Sean, we are your official on-the-field team. Mark May, draft expert Mel Kiper Jr., Rob Stone here with you. I'll be working the south sideline, headed up by Tampa Bay Buccaneer head coach John Gruden. You know, he loves to get that home field advantage. He's working the south. He said anybody who played at Auburn, who played at Alabama, is from the state of Alabama, is on my starting team.
Well, I'll be working the north sidelines with head coach Norv Turner from the Raiders, and his concern is getting the clean center quarterback exchange with Kyle Orton and Charlie Frye. They've had problems with ideal conditions. It's a slippery field today. Here's an update for you. 2 players will not participate in the game today due to the flu. Quarterback Dan Orlovsky from Connecticut and linebacker Lance Mitchell from Oklahoma.
And Mark, throughout the game, I'm going to be providing the top 5 players according to my ratings at each position. Remember, that also includes juniors who obviously will not be here at the Senior Bowl, and also throughout the game give you round projections on everybody you see on the field today, Rob.
Hey, that draft board is fluid, Sean. Things may be changing during the game.
All right, we'll look forward to all of that, gentlemen. The South won the toss and deferred, so John Gruden's South team will kick off. They're dressed in the red jerseys. Mike Nugent. Jonathan Nichols will kick off. Now the Ole Miss for the South. Mark Clayton and Courtney Roby are back deep for the North, and they battle for the football, and it's Courtney Roby from Indiana, their all-time leading receiver, and he's out to the 34-yard line. A 24-yard return. Kyle Orton from Purdue, his hometown Altoona, Iowa, just outside Des Moines. He'll get the start. As Mark May just told you, there will be only 2 quarterbacks today for the North with the illness of Dan Orlovsky. Orton and Charlie Frye from Akron will split the snaps.
Yeah, those snaps this week, about 50% of the time, it seemed like that they were fumbling the snaps.
It's too bad Dan Orlovsky can't play in the game. And Norv Turner told me on the field right before the game that he had a great end of the week and wanted to see him in this game.
He's been a little bit erratic throwing the ball earlier in the workouts. Taylor Stubblefield, Orton's teammate from Purdue, with a 3-yard gain. They played together 2 weekends ago at the East-West Shrine game out in San Francisco, and Stubblefield caught 7 passes for 128 yards and 2 touchdowns. We'll roll through the entire rosters of these 2 teams graphically for you here at the start of the game. Great talent, as we mentioned, over the last 5 years, an average of 10 first-round draft picks have played in this game, and Mel Kiper Jr. tells us we expect a similar number this year. Virtually everybody in this game will be drafted. Orton throws, and it is caught for an apparent first down if they get the spot. Caught by Mark Clayton from Oklahoma, and Brian McFadden out of Florida State made the tackle for the South.
You know, like I said, guys, I thought that the wide receiver position, Mark Clayton clearly established himself as the best player on the North all week long. You can see it right there. There's ability to run precise routes. The next level, when you have corners with great hips, Craig, and great explosive speed, you better run great routes, and Mark Clayton did that all week.
And I thought the coaching staffs really stressed to the importance to the quarterback and receivers about timing and getting out there, getting into your break, and letting go of the football before they made the break.
This has been a passing game. Phillip Rivers out of North Carolina State was the MVP last year. There's a run by J.J. Arrington, who had a tremendous season at Cal, rushed for more than 100 yards in every game and led the nation in rushing with 2,018 yards, just the 3rd player in the history of the Pac-10 to rush for 2,000. The other guys were Marcus Allen and Charles White.
Yeah, but he's going against that South defensive line that's pretty darn good. It will not be easy today.
Arrington, Darren Sproles, Noah Herron, the featured backs for the North, coached by Norv Turner and the Oakland Raiders staff. Orton is intercepted. It was intended for Stubblefield, but picked off by James Butler of Georgia Tech. He's across the 50 and out of bounds in North territory near the 44-yard line, run out by Alex Smith. So Orton, who threw only 5 interceptions all year for the Boilermakers, throws one up to James Butler. who returned it 24 yards.
And guys, James Butler just does a nice job right here. Number 22 sitting back in center field. Look at him. This is man-to-man coverage. Great hands, goes up and plucks the ball. That's what you're looking from a defensive back. Don't let the ball get to your body. Take it out of the air. And guys, remember, James Butler had struggled this whole week. This was a huge play for him here in the game.
He didn't take the fake of Orton.
He had 7 career interceptions at Georgia Tech, 2 this year. And Reggie Brown goes out of bounds, taking the aerial from Jason Campbell. The quarterback from Auburn University led them to the 13-0 season, the SEC championship, number 2. Final national ranking behind USC. Outstanding size. And a quarterback who the coaches feel can make all the throws. John Gruden said he's very impressed by Campbell's charisma, his smoothness, particularly given his excellent size. Very smooth for a big guy. Here's a guy whose stock, fellas, has probably risen as much as any player in the country this year. Campbell, according to the scouts, before this year, were probably projected as a second-day draft pick, 4th round and beyond. Now with a good day today, maybe a first-round pick.
Well, I think he's had a great week. I mean, he showed the scouts he's got good feet, pocket awareness, and it's all about timing in the NFL. Can you get rid of the ball fast enough? It's clear that Jason Campbell's been in a system with Al Borges. He understands where to go with the football.
And the fact that he had to do it in the SEC and had such a great season, I think that's what's weighing heavily on everybody's minds.
Roydell Williams from Tulane with the last catch, and now a fumble on the handoff. And the North indicating that it has recovered. We believe Matt Roth came up with the football. Cadillac Williams put it on the ground. Roth from the University of Iowa with the fumble recovery, and each team has turned it over on its first possession.
Trev, you said that nobody this week blocked Matt Roth. His body is always in motion. He has great vision. He's always around the football. The way he plays with leverage and pads, no surprise he gets a fumble recovery.
Once again, guys, that center quarterback to running back exchange early in the game affecting these teams.
This team spent a lot of time working on the exchanges. Those are the kinds of things with limited practice time a week together that can happen in a game like this. Arrington yanked down by a face mask. And there is a flag on the play. DeMarcus Ware from Troy University, guilty of a face mask. Brocky Good from the SEC is the referee.
DeMarcus Ware is a guy that everybody this week was talking about. All the scouts, general managers, head coaches talking about how good a player he is. I mean, just coming back and grabs a face mask. And
well, the question is about DeMarcus Ware, where, you know, he was a pass rusher at Troy. I mean, he had 3 sacks in 4 games in his career. Could he play outside linebacker? And I think he proved this week he's a multi-dimensional player. He can rush the passer. He did great in coverage. I mean, he covered lots of grounds. Obviously, DeMarcus Ware has helped his draft status this week.
I talked to him. He said he'd gone from 240 this season. He's gained 7 pounds already, so he's up to 247.
He was the Sun Belt Conference Defensive Player of the Year. There are 7 conference players of the year in this game. On the delay, J.J. Arrington dropped for a loss. Leroy Hill, the linebacker from Clemson, another one of those players of the year. He was the ACC Defensive Player of the Year and first team All-ACC for the 2nd year in a row as he led Clemson in tackles with 106.
That's a question about J.J. Arrington. Can he run in tight quarters? I mean, you know, remember at Cal, they spread everybody else out, and he had all these wide lanes to run. The question here is, can he run in traffic? He's got to prove that today.
So you're saying Cal was a scheme kind of offense, huh? You don't believe Arrington was a great... I thought you were one of those guys blowing his horn this year.
Orton's pass complete out to the near side to Craig Bragg out of UCLA. He's very close to a first down with a 10-yard gain. Corey Webster from LSU took him out of bounds. When we spoke with North Turner yesterday and asked him who are the guys on your team who impressed you the most, the first guy said was J.J. Arrington. And the Raiders, a team that either through free agency or the draft are likely looking for a running back.
Well, there are a lot of teams, but there are a lot of teams that are going to be looking for running backs. The question is, there are not a lot of great running backs. Can they get a free agent running back and not have to spend the money or the draft choice on one of these guys?
Raiders have the 7th pick in the upcoming draft. Tampa Bay has the 5th pick. The pass for Bragg is low from Orton and incomplete. Bryant McFadden had the coverage. That'll bring up 4th down and short, and Cole Farden comes on to punt for the North. He's from Oklahoma State. Averaged 42.9 per punt this year. He also kicks off, which will help him with an eye toward the NFL. 3-year starting punter at Oklahoma State. In last year's draft, only a total of 6 punters and kickers were drafted, Nate Kading, the Iowa place kicker, the highest in the 3rd round to San Diego. That's not a very good kick by Farden. Out of bounds at the 27-yard line. No score. Nearly 6 minutes played here in Mobile.
They set up in the eye on this, the last play of the game. And here's the snap. Hand off to the tailback. Peterson tries the right side. Wow, what a hit. But he stays on his feet, and he's broken to the outside, and it's wide open. Touchdown. Give him a touchdown.
Only Alka-Seltzer is instantly ready to break up and dissolve away the full feeling of indigestion and pain.
How about a rematch?
Break it up with Alka-Seltzer.
In Taipei, we monitor the fire alarm system in the world's tallest building. In Barcelona, our surgical instruments initiate the healing. In San Bernardino, wildfires are extinguished with our foam. At Tyco, we make thousands of products that aren't simply important. They're vital. Tyco, a vital part of your world.
And we cut.
Hold your position.
Want to have some dinner?
I already ate.
What did you eat?
Pulled pork sandwich, big garlic pickle.
How come your breath is so...
Sexy. Eclipse mints.
Eclipse. It's breath-defying.
Big breakfast burritos. Sonic's got them, others don't. Get a jump on your morning with Sonic's Big Breakfast Burrito. Fluffy eggs, sausage, and shredded cheese wrapped in a warm flour tortilla and served with a side of salsa. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Dependability and strength. The brokers of... We're in.
Hey, join the evolution. Okay, we're out.
We're back at the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama. Sean McDonough with Craig James and Trev Alberts here in the booth. Rob Stone, Mark May, and Mel Kiper Jr. down on the field. 1st and 10 for the South. Jason Campbell out throwing, and his pass is a little bit too high for Roydell Williams. It was a late addition to the roster. Terrence Murphy, the wide receiver, scheduled to play in the ball game for the South, and Roddy White, both bailed out due to injury during the week. White, a big play receiver at UAB, so that opened the door for a couple of receivers, Roydell Williams and Maurice Curry from Clemson, to be added during the week. Here's Cedric Houston from the University of Tennessee turning the corner for 8. Jimmy Bernard out of Arizona State made the tackle. They do have the coach to player helmet communication, as you see in the NFL, being used here today. They try to make this as much like an NFL week, the way they practice, the way they prepare, and the way they execute within the game as they can to get these players ready for the next step. John Gruden coached in this game in 1999 when he was the head coach of the Oakland Raiders. Lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers staff. Pass is complete for a 1st down out to the 50-yard line. Fred Gibson out of the University of Georgia. He and his fellow wide receiver from Georgia, Reggie Brown, are both there. They both had good weeks.
You know, Gibson came up this week, and he was always shaking hands and saying, hey, guys, how are you all doing? Watch him come across the field. Trev never gives up on the route. He keeps coming to get to the quarterback.
And a question about Freddie Gibson, guys, is will he catch the ball in traffic? That's what he has to prove to scouts at the next level, that he's not afraid to go across the middle, and he did it right there.
He's also had a history of injuries that have some scouts concerned, but he also wants to demonstrate he can stay healthy. Campbell throws it out in the flat, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Nehemiah Broughton from the Citadel He projects as a fullback at the next level, and Kirk Morrison had the coverage.
Go regular. And talking about Craig has him a little higher than I do. I thought second round going into the week, need to elevate into the late first, but a little mechanical, but you saw a tremendous senior year for Jason Campbell. Big kid with a strong arm. You look at Kyle Orton as well, longer delivery. Jason Campbell has, I think, the ability to throw the football in the NFL, but right now the mechanics, quarterback coach needs to work with him at the next level.
Yeah, there's a lot of mechanics that need to be worked. His footwork, his feet are together too much, and I'm not saying now that Jason Campbell was going to be a high first-round pick, Mel. Don't start getting me on that.
Oh, now,
you said he was in the late first round and looking to elevate. I'm saying late second, looking to elevate maybe into the early second, late first.
Semantics, somewhere in that 20-30 range, somewhere in there.
A lot of money involved in that semantics battle.
Oh, hey, somebody's going to get it.
All I know about Jason Campbell is the only question scouts have is the deep ball. Few plays ago, you saw him go deep. The ball wasn't where it needed to be. Jason Campbell, if he would have been a first-round pick, had he been able to complete those deep balls all season long. That was the one knock on Jason Campbell.
Blue 88.
After K.J. Harris from West Virginia was dropped for a loss, it's third and long, and the completion very near the first down marker. It's Fred Gibson again. Darren Williams from Oklahoma State had the coverage. And they are very close. Look to be just a little bit short of the 40-yard line and the first down.
And remember, guys, there's certain rules in this game. You can only play cover 3 or man-to-man. They're man-to-man. Let me tell you something. Fred Gibson can beat man coverage. He's done it his whole career. The difference for Fred Gibson, he can catch the ball. He's been a little bit erratic at times. Again, is coming across the middle, making the difficult catch, and he's not a big guy, 193 pounds. Nice catch right there by Fred Gibson.
The little things, though, he doesn't go short on his route. He took it deep, knowing that the distance for the first down. It gives him a chance on 4th and short.
Blue 88.
On 4th and short, it's K.J. Harris lowering his head, and he appeared to get across the 40 and get the first down. This game being played with a combination of college football rules and those used in the National Football League's Pro Bowl. They try to set it up so there's as many one-on-one situations as possible, and these players can exhibit their skills. Defense, as Trev mentioned earlier, and on offense, motion and shifting not allowed. You're not allowed to have 3 receivers to one side. You can rush kicks if you want, but both coaches said they probably wouldn't. They think it's bad form in an all-star game. Campbell got away from the rush and has a man open for a first down inside the 10. It's Fred Gibson. So it's Auburn to Georgia, an all-SEC connection for the 3rd time, and that one's for a 30-yard gain.
Oh, my man, was that a long ball, Trev? Is that a long pass
it
right
was.
there?
I didn't say he shouldn't go late first round. Here's Fred Gibson running down the field right here. Another great route right there, good adjustment. But what Jason Campbell did show all week, guys, is pocket awareness. Coaches told us that none of the quarterbacks had the pocket awareness, the speed of the game that Jason Campbell had.
They couldn't get in the pocket. They were late getting back there, so throws were late.
Here's Cedric Houston, and he is dropped for a loss. Well, let me ask Mel a question then to try to bring some consensus to this. Mel, Alex Smith and Aaron Rodgers, the couple juniors who are coming out from Utah and Cal, respectively, they're the top 2 quarterbacks?
No question in my mind, Sean. I think you look at those 2 kids, I think Alex Smith could go top 5, maybe number 1 overall. Aaron Rodgers not that far behind him. In fact, there's not even a consensus on who is the number 1 quarterback out of those 2. And then Charlie Fry from Akron, Campbell from Auburn, Kyle Orton in that mix to see who's going to be the top senior quarterback. I do think all the senior quarterbacks, guys, are works in progress. They're going to be starters, but not until you're talking about 3 to 4 years down the road.
10th play of this drive for the South. They're on the move. On 2nd down, a flag thrown in the offensive backfield as Campbell throws an incomplete pass dropped by Will Matthews out of the University of Texas. So, Mel, all 3 of those guys you mentioned, all 3 of them are here, have a chance, you think, to be the 3rd quarterback in the draft?
Yes, they do. I think right now you look at Orton and Campbell. I think I'd give Campbell the slight edge. As I said, Kyle Orton, that longer delivery. You saw the interception by James Butler. I think NFL people are going to look at that delivery of Orton and be a little concerned. I think you look at James Butler. He needed big plays. He didn't have many as a senior, but of the quarterbacks, Campbell, I think right now, a 2nd rounder trying after the workouts to move into the late 1st. Kyle Orton, to me, looks like a solid 2nd. Charlie Fry may have dropped from a second to maybe a third. So I think that's the way the quarterbacks may come off the board come April 23rd.
Hey,
with
Mel.
Smith and Rodgers trying to battle out maybe for the #1 pick overall.
Hey, Mel, last year there was a guy in this game that had a terrible slot delivery, too, and he ended up doing pretty darn good, didn't he?
Well, I think you look at Phillip Rivers, you're right. But he had a great week, and he had a great career. And that hitch in that delivery was not magnified down here. In fact, people were not concerned with it. But I think some of these other quarterbacks, guys, Jason Campbell, you see him there scrambling, the athletic ability he brings to the table. He's the kind of kid went from a 6th rounder to a 2nd rounder. That's not bad.
He's down at the 11-yard line after a 10-yard run. Kirk Morrison, the Mountain West Conference co-defensive player of the year at San Diego State. He shared the honor with Utah's Morgan Scalley as safety. What a great career Morrison had. 115 tackles each of the last 2 years. He brought down Campbell. The holding penalty against Ray Willis of Florida State moved them back to the 21.
All right, Fred Gibson to the left. When Jason Campbell breaks the pocket, we've seen him earlier find him. Now look at Gibson in the middle of the field. He's open. He's broken pocket. And get him the football.
And keep an eye, guys, on Bill Swancutt up there taking on Ray Willis, who had the holding penalty. Bill Swancutt early getting the best of this matchup.
Willis a late addition during the week with some deletions to the offensive line for the South. Campbell did a great job to get away from the sack, and then his pass incomplete. Pressure from Atia Ellison out of the University of Missouri. And the field goal unit will come on for the South. Jonathan Nichols from Ole Miss is their kicker.
See him from up top. There comes Bill Swancutt around Willis there. Good pressure from Matt Roth there, holding on that offensive line. Great job by those two defensive ends. I know that Craig James are not going to point out defensive linemen getting great push. He's going to talk about the running backs and quarterbacks. Let's signal out old Bill Swancutt.
Oh, I just wonder how long it'll be before you start jumping on linebackers bandwagons.
We have the last 2 Lou Groza Award winners as the best kicker in the country here. Nichols in 03 and Mike Nugent of Ohio State, the field goal kicker for the North this year. And Nichols up and good from 29 yards. He was bothered by a bruised right big toe that affected him at midseason. By his own admission, when we spoke with him yesterday, he didn't have quite as good a year this year as last. He said he missed some kicks he should have made. Down to 3.5 left in the first quarter, and the South is first on the board.
Look at him. He thinks this is his truck, but he's wrong. This is my truck. 8 years I've sat here. 130,000 miles of wind have passed through this nose. This truck is mine, but he does protect it.
Help extend the life of your engine with Castrol GTX High Mileage, specially formulated to protect against oil burn-off better than competitive leading oils.
Nice man. Nice man.
Help older cars feel young again with Castrol GTX High Mileage.
Hello, Chicago. Konnichiwa. Oh, now I can see you.
Oh, okay.
Good. Konnichiwa. Oh, no.
Ron.
What's the problem?
We lost Tokyo.
Can you hear?
We see you, now we can't hear you.
How do we do this?
With this.
But that's a phone.
It's a phone, it's the web, it's a video conference. Ed, stop hitting the TV.
Konnichiwa.
Productivity, powered by Cisco.
I like my men strong, smart, sexy, and a safe distance away from my stuff. Come on, guys, it's time to face skincare like a man. Introducing a new line of skincare from Gillette, the people who know a man's face best. It's as easy as wash, shave, protect. You see, as long as you stay a safe distance away from my stuff, I just might stay dangerously close to you. Gillette, the best a man can get.
I know you deceived me, now here's a surprise. I know that you have, 'cause there's magic in my eyes. I can see for miles and miles. I can see for miles and
Silver Star, high-performance headlights from Sylvania. See the world in a new light.
The South has the lead as Jason Campbell engineered a 12-play, 62-yard drive that took 5.5 minutes off the clock and led to a field goal by Jonathan Nichols. 3 catches on the drive for Gibson for 58 yards, one of the key 30-yard play. The kickoff right over to the sideline. Mark Clayton from Oklahoma did well to walk the tightrope. pushes out to the 35-yard line. They got belted down by DeMarcus Ware after a 26-yard return. Norv Turner's North offense back on the field right after this.
Lovely. His love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. But the world
everyone wants it. Basketball's got it. ESPN College Game Day, Saturdays at 11. Fueled by Mountain Dew.
Worried about your car's mileage? Then check your gas cap. Every year, Americans let over 147 million gallons of gas evaporate into thin air through loose or missing gas caps. This road tip is brought to you by ABC Family Channel.
Come to Murray Dodge and see one of the largest selections of Dodge Rams, Dakotas, Durangos, even Caravan with stow and go. All priced right at $200 below factory invoice. Remember, at Murray Dodge, $99 down delivers. Murray Dodge on Ridge Pike and Conshohocken.
Monday on CN8, the lessons that sports teach us on One-on-One with Steve Adubato. Then, how will Sunday's elections in Iraq affect the stability of its fragile democracy? On It's Your Call with Lynn Doyle, followed by CN8 News at 10. Monday on CN8, the Comcast Network.
Powerful, intense, controversial.
We have strangers raising our kids.
CN8 Primetime, heated debate. It's Your Call with Lynn Doyle, weeknights 9 Eastern. CN8, the Comcast Network.
Colorado Rockies, soon to be shattered by the sounds of revving engines, screaming fans, and the undeniable roar of Winner X Games 9. At the center of it all, Moto X legend Brian Deegan, looking to breathe new life into his Winner X mystique after taking our breath away from 45 feet up one short year ago.
Falling to the ground is silent. Hit the ground, I heard my bones break.
Does that pique your interest? Live coverage tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
$3-0 in favor of the South here at the 56th Senior Bowl. The South has won 7 of the last 11 Senior Bowls. Al Orton 3 for 5 passing for 20 yards and 1 interception. Comes out throwing, and that one is almost picked off. He was looking at Craig Bragg all the way, and Travis Daniels saw that one coming. The LSU cornerback almost intercepted. Let's head down to the sidelines. Here's Rob Stone.
Yeah, we're with Jason Campbell, SEC Player of the Year. What were some of your goals when you came down here to Mobile?
Well, you know, some people question my accuracy, you know, which I thought was a little bit surprising. You know, concerned I almost completed 70% of my passes this year, and over my last 3 years, I completed over 60%. But, you know, I just want to come down and just have fun. That was my overall goal, you know, see if I can answer any questions that people may have had about me. But, you know, it's all about having fun, just being yourself. You know, you can't change what you do at this point. You got to do what you can do best.
Well, we know Coach Gruden loves quarterbacks, and he has a very deep playbook for the quarterbacks. How has it been making that transition from college to the kind of the NFL landscape this week?
Well, you know, it's been a little easier for me just because I was under Coach Borges this year, and you know, he ran the West Coast offense with a lot of different terminology. So the terminology part, you know, wasn't that big of a change, and also plus the plays. You know, the West Coast offense always has something similar to everyone who runs it.
All right, thanks for your time, Jason.
Thank you.
Well spoken. I tell you what, he was really, I think, talking about Mel, wasn't he?
Yeah, he got all over Mel right there.
Man.
Who was the one who said he couldn't throw the deep ball?
I said that's the question. The scouts. I'm not a scout. I just come here to do the game.
He was over 60% passing in every one of his 4 years. So let's take the accuracy thing and throw it out the window. Not literally. Orton throws an accurate pass to the tight end Alex Smith from Stanford. One of 4 Cardinal footballers out here today. A 3-yard gain. Leroy Hill made the tackle. He has 4 tackles already. Leroy played well at the East West Shrine game and is off to another good start here today for the South defense.
That accuracy thing, though, you can tell that's the motivating factor for him this week. He's out here trying to.
That's why he's here, right, Craig? Yeah. He completed 68% of his passes, but the question was, on the deep ball, can he connect?
Boy, Kiper, I'm telling you, way to fire somebody up.
Line drive punt from Cole Farden. Defonso Thorpe Former ACC sprint champion out of Florida State with no place to go. He's out of bounds at the 15-yard line. A 43-yard punt and return of -4. 3-0 South. Campbell heading back on the field after some last words from Coach Gruden right after this.
You enjoying your sub?
Oh yeah, Bob. I love the way you spoil me.
Considering Quizno's new turkey sub with mountains of turkey lettuce and tomatoes all oven toasted to perfection is just $2.99. Spoiling you has never been easier.
You know, Bobby, you're so good with money, and you're looking very hunky.
Well, I have been working out.
Come try Quizno's new oven-roasted turkey sub. It's just $2.99 every day.
Just $2.99 every day.
Quizno's. Toasty.
Rated M for mature. Frank Castle's family was brutally murdered in a mob hit. Now, for the men that did it, there is no justice. There is no mercy. This isn't vengeance. It's punishment. The Punisher.
Do you want me? Do you want me?
Listen up. 2 hot deals. Get them now. At Best Buy.
Come and get me.
ESPN2's presentation of the 2005 Senior Bowl. Brought to you by Castrol GTX High Mileage. It helps older cars feel young again. And Wendy's new combo choices. Wendy's, it's better here.
And welcome back to Mobile alongside Mel Kiper Jr. I'm Rob Stone. Hey, don't take that from those guys up in the booth, Mel. You know your stuff. We're going to talk right now the top 5.
We got 3 quarters left now.
Plenty of time. We'll talk right now the top 5 quarterbacks. According to you, teams like Tennessee, New England, Indy, Atlanta have the needs. Who are the guys that might fill them?
You got to look at the junior class, Rob. A lot of these positions, juniors are dictating the early portion, and Adam Pac-Man Jones, certainly, you look at his ability at cornerback out of West Virginia, a kid who certainly he feels can run a 4.2, 4.25. If he does, he could interest the Tennessee Titans very early in round 1, maybe even the Cleveland Browns. I think then after you get to that group, then you're looking at guys like Antrell Roll, depending upon the 40 time, the recovery speed he shows in workouts. He could be a mid to late first. Carlos Rogers injured this week, minor injury, late first rounder as well. Brandon Browner, because of his height, 6'3" and change out of Oregon State, could also be a late first, and so could Justin Miller, who has that big play ability, also return man. And also keep in mind, Bryant McFadden proved this week is one of the tougher corners in terms of supporting the run and tackling. Bryant McFadden could be on the borderline for the late first round.
After an 11-yard gain by K.J. Harris from West Virginia. This is David Green, the new quarterback, throwing it over the head of Cedric Houston. Green from the University of Georgia, 6'3", 223 pounds, a 4-year starter, and the winningest quarterback in the history of Division I-A football. 42 wins in his career, broke Peyton Manning's record of 39. Rick Leach of Michigan, Ken Dorsey of Miami at 38. You know, he's not the big arm guy. He's not particularly mobile, but John Gruden says he's a winner. And to the NFL people, that counts for something.
Yeah, the key, though, is his timing. If he stays on rhythm and everything happens as it's supposed to, he's a great quarterback. If it breaks down, that's sometimes when he gets in trouble.
During the season, as Coach Mark Richt said, sometimes he tends to guide the ball. He needs to let it rip. He's on target there for what was a first down. Alfonso Thorpe circled back and might have cost himself the first down. Stanley Wilson out of Stanford made the tackle on Thorpe, who came back this year after breaking his leg in 2003.
Hey, Alfonso Thorpe trying to prove to get back to that level. This year's production wasn't as good as last year. Half the amount of yards. He went from about 11 touchdowns down to 2. He's had a pretty good week, caught the ball well. The one thing is he likes a little erratic, catches it with his body sometimes. But you mentioned David Green.
But did he catch it? If you catch it with your body, doesn't that still count?
Right down here, fellas. There's Matt Jones, the former quarterback at Arkansas. We've had fun with Matt all week long. matchup problems, right, Craig? That's what it is in the NFL. Can you find a matchup you can win? A guy's 6'5", 240. You'd think he can beat a corner inside.
Well, you know what? You know, Sean, for years we've been covering this guy. Matt Jones seems like an 8-year college player. And he said to us, we asked him, hey, how do you think about wide receiver? And he goes, well, they sure do run a lot.
His legs are sore. He's trying to make a transition to wide receiver after playing quarterback, and very well, we might add, at Arkansas. Bill Swancutt with the sack of Green on what will be the last play of the first quarter. Swancutt, the co-defensive player of the year in the Pac-10. Along with Sean Cody of USC, who's also in this game. It's a festive atmosphere here in Mobile. We'll be back for the second quarter right after this.
ESPN's coming to the Walt Disney World Resort for ESPN The Weekend. Visit ESPNtheweekend.com.
My mother told me. Promise me you're never letting nobody turn you into no cripple.
Only in America can a man start from so little.
How you doing tonight?
Achieve so much.
Nobody's ever combined R&B and gospel before.
And inspire so many.
You're gonna have to make it work, Ray.
I'm gonna make it do what it do, baby. Yeah.
Nominated for 6 Academy Awards. Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor.
The genius himself, Ray Charles.
Ray, own the DVD Tuesday.
If you're like us, you'll never want to waste your time on a treadmill again. This free DVD shows you how Bowflex's Tread Climber lets you burn calories in half the time it takes on other equipment. Call for yours right now. You need to see this free DVD. Tread Climber lets me get an amazingly effective cardio workout in 30 minutes. It's quick, it's easy, and it makes me feel great. And it's compact enough to fit anywhere in my home. Tread Climber combines the walking action of a treadmill with the stepping movement of an elliptical. It's really easy to do. It feels sort of like walking in sand. Plus, it's low impact, which keeps my knees feeling great. I know I've got to take care of myself now if I want to look younger and feel younger. Tread Climber simply produces results. Call right now for your free DVD. It shows you why the Bowflex Tread Climber burns calories and works your heart faster and easier than any other cardio product on the market today.
Got broadband, you're ready to go. Call 1-800-964-4VON or visit Vonage.com. Also available at these fine retailers.
The South had 113 yards of offense in the first quarter to just 23 for the North, but it's only a 3-0 lead for the South as they go 3rd down and 11 on the first play of the second quarter. David Green in trouble, and he is sacked back at the 34-yard line by Bill Swancutt, who has certainly made his presence felt. Jonathan Babineau of Iowa also in there. But Swancutt, the all-time leader in sacks at Oregon State, very impressive here in the first quarter plus. He had 37 sacks for the Beavers in his career.
Sean and Craig, look at the pocket collapse right here. They actually have to chip Bill right there with a back. Nehemiah Broughton comes up to chip him. Now Lorenzo Alexander with good pressure. But Bill Swancutt, he doesn't quit.
I told you this week we were watching him in drills.
No,
this
you
guy
didn't.
had the potential. Yeah, and you said no.
You said he was a straight line
you
guy.
You said the guy won't turn back inside and hit anybody.
Yeah, we have those things on tape, fellas. We can go back and look at them if we have to, and I think we might have to. Low snap. Dustin Colquitt gets off a punt. They said they weren't going to rush the punter, but there's somebody right in his face as he got it off. And a great punter from Tennessee, considered the best punting prospect in the upcoming draft, winds up with a 45-yarder with help from the roll. We're a minute into the second quarter. Norv Turner trying to find a way to get the North moving.
They set up in the eye on this, the last play of the game. And here's the snap. Hand off to the tailback. Peterson tries the right side. Wow, what a hit. But he stays on his feet, and he's broken to the outside, and it's wide open. Touchdown. Give him a touchdown.
Is your shampoo missing something? Does it work on dryness, irritation, itchiness, flakes? Head & Shoulders is missing nothing. Your hair and scalp get complete care. Its penetrating formula helps restore your scalp to its ideal balance, helping to eliminate dryness, itchiness, irritation, not to mention 100% flake-free. It's complete care for your hair and scalp. Head & Shoulders. Surprise yourself.
People everywhere are experiencing a breakthrough.
I'm full!
Fullness from a value menu.
This is my dad. He's full.
The Big Bell Value Menu from Taco Bell, with filling items like half-pound burritos and big double tacos, designed to keep your stomach and your wallet full.
What are you supposed to be? I'm full.
All right. Yeah, I'm a pirate. Get full on value. Think outside the bun.
Certified pre-owned vehicle program. It's the shortcut to your dream car.
Three 3-0 South. First possession of the second quarter for the North, and a new quarterback, Charlie Fry, out of Akron. Quarterback the Zips to a 6 in 5 years. He's 6'4", 222. He pitched the ball off to Darren Sproles, and the diminutive one from Kansas State, who made a positive impression on the workouts this week, runs for 15 yards. Let's head down to the sideline to Mark May.
I'm with Oregon State defensive end Bill Swancut. Had a pretty nice series there, 2 sacks.
Yeah, you know, I'm just going out there having fun. I haven't played in about a month since that Inside Bowl, and I'm just going out there having a good time.
Do you think you've done enough this week and so far in this game to impress the scouts to hopefully elevate your status in the draft?
Yeah, I think so. Anybody that comes here, you know, I think it makes them look good, you know, playing against the best in the country, and I'm just trying to go out here and play my best.
But the question is, have you impressed Mel Kiper?
I don't know, you know, I'm from Oregon State University. Pac-10 doesn't get much love from much people, it seems like, except besides SC. So I'm just going out there, doing what I can, coming from a smaller Division I school, I guess you could say.
There you go, Matt. Give him some love. Come on, Mel. Give him some love from the Pac-10.
Mel, you want to?
I think when you look at Billy Swancut, remember Nick Barnett came out of Oregon State a few years ago. He went in the late first round when he was projected to be a 2 or 3 before the workouts. Billy Swancut has a good workout. All of a sudden, you're thinking maybe second round for him. He's a pass rusher, a little one-dimensional, but a kid I think has a chance to be, because of the ability now necessarily to get after the quarterback with these rule changes, no shutdown corners in the NFL. Pass rushers needed, could be a second-round draft choice.
Fry, a pump fake, and then he throws out to the near side. Caught by Joel Dreesen, the tight end out of Colorado State, for a 5-yard gain. James Butler made the tackle.
All right, Craig. Can Darren Sproles play at the next level?
Yes.
And take a look at Darren Sproles. Question about, does he have any moves? Is he big enough? He's 5'5". Is he a straight line runner? Take a look right here. A little pitch by Charlie Fry. Good hands. Little move right there. Okay, so good blocking. Nice tackle by Fuller, but it's clear to me, I don't want to hear about a guy's a situational guy.
Yeah.
He had 1,900 yards in the Big 12 as a junior.
Yeah, he did it
carry
again
the
last year
football.
too, had a great year. I don't think the guy's too small. Somebody is going to be really glad to have him play for the next 8 or 10 years with him.
And Fry is sacked on 3rd down and 4. He's taken down by George Goss out of South Carolina for a